forcing you to hit shots. If shots aren't going down as a team like tonight, what are some things that you guys can do better to be more efficient on that end?
I don't think there's anything you can do better. You execute your offense to get the best shot, and we did that tonight.
Yeah, in the game against the Raptors, LeBron and Anthony Davis combined for 8 points in the first half. Pain. In fact, Davis had 0 points in the first quarter. At halftime, LeBron had only taken 5 shots. In the Clippers game, Bron only had 6 points by half and shot 32% from the field for the game with only 2 free throws. Pain. This isn't the LeBron we know. And then, just last game, LeBron has moments of dominance and moments of, confusion? I want to throw this out there from the jump. The Lakers played really good defensive teams. The Clippers and Raptors have some of the best personnel in the league to slow down LeBron in the form of Kawhi, Paul George for the Clippers, and Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby with Serge Ibaka and Marc Gasol for the Raptors. The Jazz are also an elite defensive team with Rudy. Especially the way the Raptors defense was in that Lakers game, man, was it a work of art. And they are the second best defensive team in the league. But it's not as if we haven't seen LeBron do well against some of the best defenses in the league. Just before the break, we saw Bron go crazy against the Clippers and then drop 37-8 against the #1 defensive team in the league, the Bucks. So, what's going on? Let's try to find out. What is up, dudes, dudettes, ballers, players? It's your boy MJ. The Lakers might be 2-1 in the NBA bubble, but they have hardly looked like the Lakers we saw towards the end of the regular season before the break. LeBron has worst 2-game stretch efficiency-wise this whole season, shooting 38% from the field, and then had a solid game against the Jazz. Not going too deep with plus-minus, but Bron has been a -4, -20, and then a 0 in the past 3 games. Yeah, 0 in the win against the Jazz. With LeBron being uncharacteristically inconsistent, it's time we look into this and see what's going on in the bubble. And before we call this dramatizing the whole situation, realize that LeBron and the Lakers only have 5 games left to figure this out before the playoffs. So drop a like for a defense, cause it's been on point. If we get 10,000 likes, I'll release another video on Friday. And I've been uploading on the reaction channel, reacted and broke down 2 Lakers game plus Giannis versus Harden, and I'll be doing a giveaway there once we hit 5k subs. So yeah, if you want quick breakdowns of games, that's the place to go. And to the 80% of people that watch this video that still aren't subscribed, I'm chill with it. Not subscribing takes no skill at all. So, subscribe. After a 4-month break, LeBron's body is not in playoff mode, and so in these 8 games, he has to ramp it up to that level. But doing it too fast could result in injuries, which is exactly what LeBron said. Specifically that, my body was wondering what was going on because I was right there where my body was starting to get to 5th and 6th and 7th gear going into the playoffs. And then it was just a complete shutdown. Frank Vogel has talked about not rushing LeBron too much because it could lead to injury. This is where LeBron's age comes into play. At 35, it's insane to be able to play the way LeBron has, but doing that comes with being more meticulous in preparation. It's not as easy as just flipping a switch, as some other players in the bubble have done. And no knock against Bron's preparation because he's been training himself during this whole break, but training and getting game shape are 2 different things. That could lead to a lack of aggression that we've seen from LeBron. LeBron not shooting well is not the concern. His shot can come and go. The focus is more on what LeBron is creating. Now let's not get twisted, LeBron averaging 19 points and 7 assists is still amazing by most standards, but we are comparing Bron to himself. At times that first step just seems slow and the defense ends up staying in front of Bron or on his hip without him ever being able to turn the corner. Of course these teams have great defenders, but that's what the playoffs are also going to be like. And even when there isn't a great defender, Bron sometimes doesn't even try a drive like right here. He has Patrick Patterson on him who definitely can't keep up. On top of that, the whole left side is wide open with Shamet as the help defense, which ain't enough. To go even further, Reggie Jackson leaves Waiters open to provide help defense on the right, losing Waiters. But instead of driving to his left, LeBron dribbles and takes an out of rhythm mid-range. No Paul George, no Kawhi, just Patrick Patterson making him take a mid-range. Comparing this to highlights a few months ago, LeBron almost every type of situation, meaning from the top of the key, fast break, out of the post, would be his man have a head of steam into the paint. Even in the game against the Jazz, in which he shot 56% from the field, he still wasn't blowing by people you would expect. Like here, Joe Ingles is able to cut off LeBron, which leads to this really good pass, but is still weird. Or even here, LeBron doesn't get by Niang and takes a step back jumper that he airballs. Pain. LeBron's only been to the free throw line 11 times in 3 games. He's just getting stopped. And in the Clippers and Jazz games, he only got to the line twice. There's actually a lot more times that LeBron is being slower, slithering through a pick and roll. This can work at times, but is not where LeBron is as most effective. On the upside, in the game against the Jazz, there were more times where LeBron was able to blow by his initial defender. Like here, even if he did miss. Or look at these two identical situations with LeBron on the baseline. In one, LeBron drives and beats his man. In the other, Bron doesn't even try to drive. Of course, the defenders are different, but there's a difference in mentality. His first step is getting there, it's just not there. Not yet. The Lakers are also out of sorts on some possessions, like when LeBron pretty much holds onto the ball trying to direct traffic for the entire possession because the team is not on the same page, or here when Kuzma just dribbles the ball for 15 seconds without getting anywhere, getting locked up by Fred VanVleet and losing the ball. Dang it, Kuzma. LeBron's also been loose with his handle, at times looking uninterested, like right here against Paul George. He loses the handle without any pressure, which sort of ruins the flow of the pick and roll. But these things are beginning to tighten up, with LeBron getting more into the flow. This pick and roll was a really good sign. So let's look at Anthony Davis. AD was uber aggressive in the Jazz game, took 14 shots in the first quarter alone to make up for that Raptors game. But the one thing with AD is that even without shooting well, he was still getting to the line. The LeBron-AD connection was also sort of shut down in the Raptors game, but a lot of that depends on Bron putting enough pressure on the defense, which he didn't. At times against the Raptors, LeBron seemed like he didn't even want to try to get past the defense. And I get that. Siakam and OG were hounding him, and then once you get past them, you gotta go to Serge Ibaka and Marc Gasol, but that's not gonna cut it if Anthony Davis was also off. But in the game against the Jazz, both AD and Bron made a priority to be more aggressive, and AD was a monster. Step back threes. Really, man? LeBron is still capable, it's more of whether he's there mentally and physically. I'm going to give LeBron a lot of credit defensively though. He has been active on that end despite having a few lapses in rotations. He's taken one-on-one defense much more seriously. He's not overly quick on that end, he's just being smart and using his experience to really bar defenders like he did with Kawhi and Paul George. The one thing LeBron was getting roasted for was the one thing he's done a much better job at, and it's a very welcome sight. So a lot of this stems from LeBron literally not being LeBron. This is very reminiscent of LeBron in February and March of 2018, or when LeBron came back from a groin injury last year when playoff LeBron was activated and shit went downhill. Teams are playing higher intensity than the start of the regular season, but Bron seems to be stuck in that easing in mode. Does that mean he can't change this? Heck no! LeBron has other gears, he just has to find them in time for the playoffs, which is less than 2 weeks away. LeBron will get better over time. The real question is whether he'll be ready in time for the playoffs. I think he's gonna be playoff LeBron by the second round, and that is being cautious and not trying to get injured. But what do you think? Will LeBron be all good by then? Who's been the best team in the bubble so far? Drop a like for 80 step back threes, cause jeez. Reaction channel got the uploads on lock, uploading multiple times a week, so check it out. One hot take go happening Friday night. Alright, one hot take go.
Basically, Luka Doncic
What's good, Torrance?
is better than Giannis.
And if you're still here, you're a real one, so comment stopper, so I know. The Instagram shout of the day goes to Lopez Jerry, and the all-day notification shout goes to the NBA Storyteller. Thanks for the all-day support. Make sure to bell for all notifications, and if you're not a sub, hit that subscribe button, join the all-day community for more fire content, all-day support. It's your boy MJ, we out, and we vibing. Oh, you made it to this point of the video. Well, I'm actually watching the Thunder versus Lakers game right now, and LeBron's kind of doing the same thing I just mentioned. He's being passive. He passed up an ISO on Chris Paul. Like, he passed it to Danny Green, Then Danny Green passed it back, and he passed it to Quinn Cook across the court with 6 seconds left. Instead of just ISOing Chris Paul. I don't know. Lakers are losing bad, but I think LeBron can turn it around. For all the people who made it to this point, I just want to know y'all favorite teams and who you're rooting for in NBA restart bubble. Whatever, man. There goes that man AD. He's frustrated. Bro, the Lakers down 20? Alright, we out. And we vibing.